Bible study time with me. Hello again. I'm glad you're back with me. I'm Megan, and we are in the book of Zechariah, the Old Testament book. This is day 3, I believe, and we are completing chapter 1 today. This is going to be verses 7 through 17. There is a lot of deep stuff in here, so I like to take verse by verse, highlight words that stick out to me, and then I go digging for what does this specific word mean, what's the significance of it. And let me just tell you, I have 6 pages of notes on my iPad for just these verses. A lot of deep stuff. Again, I am no Bible scholar. I'm a stay-at-home mama who loves Jesus, and I love studying the Bible to get a deeper understanding of God's truth and His Word in my life. And I'm just here sharing it with you in hopes that maybe I can put it into terms that better helps you understand. And maybe God's going to give you a word. He's going to give you like a significant verse that's going to help you in your life right now. Maybe He's going to help you apply this Old Testament to your life right now. There's just so much goodness. So let's get started. Okay, verses 7 through 17. So it starts out, Zechariah is now having like a vision, okay? And it says this happens during the month of Shabbat. Now, I was like, they put that in there, so this has got to be some significance. So what I found that this word means is this is the Babylonian name for the 11th month, okay? And it could possibly refer to a month that gets a lot of rain. So there we go. Now the word of the Lord comes to Zechariah a second time, okay? This time it's in a dream, or what he calls a vision during the night, okay? And Zechariah sees a man mounted on a red horse, and he's standing among the myrtle trees in a ravine. So there was a lot of words that stuck out to me right there, like red horse being number one. What's that significance there? So after doing some research, red in the Bible could definitely stand for blood or bloodshed. This is the red horse the man is riding, okay? So if we also read in the book of Revelation, I found this when doing some digging, Revelation 6, verse 4, we read that out of the second seal comes a fiery red horse, and its rider was given power to take peace from the earth. So I was like, oh, wow. I mean, that, to me, that's pretty significant right there. Okay, but in Zechariah's vision, this red horse could definitely mean bloodshed to come, or the bloodshed. I just don't know. Let me know what you think about that right there. I thought that was pretty good. And see, the next part of this verse says, he was standing among the myrtle trees. So if myrtle tree was not significant, I don't believe it would be written. And so I was like, what are myrtle trees? What do they like represent in the Bible? Okay, so the significance there, in the Bible, the myrtle tree represents the people of Israel. It represents the Israelites. It also like a symbol of peace and community. So we'll read the verses in Revelation about the red horse released from the second seal. Could this be a representation of the bloodshed for peace? So this is definitely something to dig more into, to pray about. I'm going to continue praying about it to see what God reveals to me about that. Very interesting. Now, behind the man on the red horse, we see more horses. Red, brown, and white. So I was like, they named these colors, so it has to be, I guess, pretty significant. So I was trying to figure out like the brown horse, and from what I was finding, it was also referring this brown color to sorrel, S-O-R-R-E-L, that can represent partial peace and conflict. And then white in the Bible usually represents like divine glory or glorious victory. So There we go with that. And now we start in verse 9 where this kind of shifts, okay? It goes into like an actual conversation. And the vision shifts, and we read Zechariah now ask a question. And we got another person that enters into this vision, and he's now having a conversation with an angel who says, I'm going to show you who they are, who these people are, who these riders are, this rider is. So now the man on the red horse starts to speak, and he says these are the ones that God has sent to go out through the earth. So they're kind of like patrolmen, the red, brown, or sorrel, and the white horses. There's an assumption that these other horses have riders, and Zechariah is watching and hearing their conversation as they report their findings to the angel of the Lord who was standing among the trees. So it's a lot of, you really have to read it slow. Really have to read this slow. And these horsemen are like patrolmen, and they report back that the world is at peace. So they're reporting that the world is at peace. And then we start in verses 12 through 17. Excuse me. This refers to the 70 years of Israel's exile, and it is nearly up, and now peace is throughout the earth. So God is speaking kind and comforting words, and the angel reports how he was a jealous God. He was jealous for Jerusalem and Zion, but now his mercy is going to be with them, going to be restored, and his house will be rebuilt. He will bless his towns, and prosperity will now flow. And then when I got to the end of that, end of chapter 1, the verse 3 came back to mind. Return to me, and I will return to you. So this is all about the return, all about their return. Return from exile, return to God, return to peace, return to prosperity, return to his house. So, like I said, that's a lot of deep stuff. I hope that I could make some sense. And as we continue studying, I pray that God just like really shows us some meaning here, shows us some ways that we can apply this to our life. And I'm ready to see what other visions Zechariah has. So I hope that you found this helpful. Please subscribe, like, comment. I'm going to continue sharing as we go along. I share some over on my TikTok page and a lot of fun stuff over there if you haven't followed me there. But again, thank you. I'm Megan, and I hope that I'll see you again.